hey, what are you passionate about? What's your passion? Alright, what is going on, guys? So today I'm out for a walk right now. I'm out by the river. Wow, so nice. So basically I just wanted to make this quick video today. I wanted to chat about passion and how you can kind of find your own passion. If you're like me, it's not an easy question to answer when people are like, hey, what are you passionate about? What's your passion? It's a tough question for me to answer. And it was a tough question for me to answer for a long time because I couldn't just narrow it down on like one thing. To start it off, basically, like my opinion or the way I think of it is there isn't just like one passion that you just happen to be born with. There's probably a lot of different things that you could possibly be passionate about. You kind of just have to get to them eventually. To start off, basically, you have to think like people are always saying like once you find your passion, then you can be successful in life because you can just make a career out of that passion. And that seems like an awesome idea, but it starts off with thinking like, well, let's think of like something that you're passionate about and then we'll make a job from there. And that's cool. A lot of people are successful when they do that. But the way I think of it is your success is going to fuel your passion. And what I mean by that is when you get pretty good at something, you get to be pretty passionate about it. Some people have passions, they're super obvious, right? And so, I've got friends that are really good at, say, like dirt biking, and they're like super passionate about that, or maybe they're passionate about making music, or, bodybuilding or playing a sport, something like that, right? And so that's pretty specific and focused. It's easy for them to kind of say like, sports are my passion, or art is my passion. Maybe you're like me. Maybe that's not something that's like so, I guess, like evident for you. And so for myself, I remember being in grade 12 and in high school and everyone starting to apply for universities and colleges and knowing exactly like what they wanted to do there. I had friends that were like, I love numbers, I love money, I love kind of problem solving, those fast-paced environments, and they went into accounting. And I had some friends that were, I was hanging out with a lot of other people that were playing sports and athletes, so they were going into sports sciences and stuff like that. For some reason, I could never try and narrow it down. I played a lot of sports in grade 12, so I was initially wanting to go for sports science, but as luck would have it, I applied way too late for the program that I was going for, and I didn't get in just because it had filled up. So I ended up going into like general studies with college, and I looked at like business management, and I worked in a restaurant at the time, so I was kind of like serving and like working with people, and so maybe management was something that I wanted to go into. And then I worked in construction for a little bit, so I was renovating homes, and then after that I started working in a gym, so again, I was more of like working with people and more in tune with fitness. There was always kind of like a broad spectrum of things that, fueled me internally, made me excited, and made me feel fulfilled, right? So how could you kind of narrow it down and choose one thing, or how could you narrow down something that you could be passionate about? I've made a list of questions that kind of helped me narrow down what I was passionate about, and I guess this is them. The first thing that you're going to want to do is think of some things that you're naturally like kind of good at. Because like I said, if you find success in something, it's going to fuel your passion a lot more. You're going to want to do it on a daily basis. You're going to want to do it without getting paid. The stuff that normal people tell you on how to find your passion, right? So find something that you're good at. And it might not be something that's very, mainstream or stereotypical in the sense that, it's not like really good at basketball, or I'm really good at, skiing, or I'm really good at drawing, or I'm really good at singing, all of those specific things. It could be something like I'm really good at staying patient and helping people, or I'm really good at, conflict resolution. I'm really good at, being under pressure. Maybe you're super good at like taking risks, or maybe you're really good at like storytelling, or whatever it may be. Think of something that you're pretty good at naturally, and something that kind of comes naturally for you, I guess, but also that brings you like a little bit of joy as well. Another question is to ask like, what do you mind not taking a risk for? Or what do you not mind spending money on? Those types of things, right? And so for myself, this was a huge one for me. I kind of started to think about, like, when I was a child, when I was a kid growing up, like, what were some of the things I didn't mind taking risks for? Now, some people it's going to be like, again, maybe it's sports. Maybe it's like snowboarding or skiing or skateboarding or, I don't know, parkour. You know, there's a pretty big risk in getting hurt, or that's a pretty big one in and of itself, getting hurt, right? Those people that are naturally good at it and spend a lot of time doing it, they're okay with the risk and they know how to manage the risk and maybe minimize the risk. And it doesn't seem to impact them. If anything, it fuels them a little bit more. What would you not mind spending a risk on? For myself, it was kind of entertaining people and making people laugh, making people smile. I didn't care about getting in trouble as a kid by saying something stupid or making myself look like a fool by saying something that I thought was funny, right? In hopes that maybe even if I make myself look dumb, maybe I'll make 15 people laugh. And so that was worth the risk for me. Right? I was okay with the risk of looking like a fool or maybe getting in trouble in some instances, but, you know, kind of fueling or entertaining crowds or just kind of making people smile. That was something I was okay taking risks for. So that was something that kind of pointed me in the right direction in terms of like what I'm passionate about or what fuels me. And then you can kind of take that into like, what should you do for work after that? Then you got to start to think about yourself in terms of like, what types of environments do you want to be in? Do you like being in like a fast-paced environment? Do you like being maybe by yourself? Do you like working as a team? Do you like maybe having a lot of risk involved in your work? Maybe you should work in something that's more commissionable, so you have that little bit more drive for you, or maybe you don't like risk at all and you should go for something that's like an hourly wage or a salary where it's going to be a bit more consistent for you and that will kind of ease your mind and make you feel a little bit more fulfilled, right? Figure out like where your personality is going to flourish and take place the best. Because if you put yourself in an environment where maybe you really hate risks and you have a risky job, or you have a job where you're consistently under pressure, then you're going to dread going to work every single day, and you're probably not going to be fully engaged in your job, and maybe your coworkers will get frustrated and your boss will get frustrated, and you're certainly going to get frustrated by doing something that doesn't make you feel good on a daily basis. So you gotta kind of pick your environment from there, right? Another kind of cool question is like, what are the types of things that make you like lose track of time? Is it doing something with your hands? Is it maybe like building something or putting something together? Is it something that's a little bit more analytical? You like looking at patterns and numbers and you like kind of taking a look at that and you get lost in spreadsheets. There's certain people that like certain things. And so again, you're gonna wanna make yourself be in an environment that's gonna be good for that sense of your personality as well. One of the last things I would start to think about as well is, again, one of the crucial like factors of the whole thing is, do you like maybe sitting still all day? Do you want to sit in a desk and you like kind of having like a little bit more leisure time? Or are you just like a go, go, go? You like moving all the time and being in a different place all the time. You don't want to be in the same room maybe, and you got to start to factor those things into your life as well. But finding your passion doesn't always mean that you have to tailor it to your work. I would recommend that. But some people are perfectly fine working, you know, a 9 to 5, 40-hour week and then pursuing their passions on the side. But for the most part, what I think is the more time you can spend doing something that you're truly passionate about and something that actually makes you feel fulfilled or happy is going to be better for you. Some people have a natural talent or a natural need or want to help other people or to talk to other people, and they're just a little bit more empathetic or sympathetic. For those people, maybe consider being like a counselor or a caregiver, perhaps even, or like a youth group instructor. And if you like being on the move or on the go, then maybe you could niche it to something that you're super passionate about on the side. Like you could start day camps for exploring and hiking. And then that way you're, you know, taking care of people, you're educating them and stuff like that, but you're always in a different area and you're always on the move. You kind of want to find something that you're going to be super fulfilled by, that you wouldn't mind doing for free maybe. But I would say start to listen to not monetary stuff anymore and just start to think about like your actual body and how your brain reacts. So that's why I use indicators like, you know, what do you not mind taking a risk for? Or What do you think that kind of makes you lose track of time, or you could spend hours doing and it's like, oh my goodness, I just spent 9 hours doing that. It felt like I was having fun. Those are the types of things you want to find. And so I really hope this helps you find something that you're passionate about. If you have your own passion, if you found it already, you can share that as well in the comments section. But if you have any tips or pointers for people as well, then share that in the comments section. But above all else, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps.